All right, we'll call the adjourned recess meeting back to order. And the next item, we ended on the cleaning contract. So, do we have any staff that wants to say anything else before we talk about it?
No, sir. There's no more comments from the staff at this time.
Okay. All right, any discussion from our members?
Mr. Chair, this is Brad George. I have some questions for Mr. LaFawn, our attorney. If we choose to go to a different vendor, a couple of the vendors that we are looking at have a 60-day wait for employee benefits. Is there any way to negotiate that to a lesser time, or for if they pick up in current employees that we are currently employed with our current contractor?
Mr. George, this is Brandon. I think we can negotiate anything. The question I have is, do we want to tie the new contractors' hands on employees for selection? I also understand of providing our current employees, folks who are currently working in district buildings, the opportunity to be employed. I don't necessarily know that you guys want to require it as a term of the contract. It certainly can be, but I'm just thinking out loud as far as do we want to make that a requirement on the contractor?
No, I'm not saying that they have to hire, but the ones that they do hire, if they hire any, is there a way to reduce that wait period for benefits?
For benefits? It shouldn't be an issue. Would you prefer no wait period, or would you prefer like a 30-day? I mean, does the board have a preference?
No period.
No wait period? Okay.
Hey, Brandon, it's
for
Cindy.
like the medical benefits.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
So that there's no loss of coverage, if you will.
Correct.
Right, especially with everything going on right now, Brandon. I just don't think that's fair to especially our current employees. Like Mr. George just said, if they choose to keep them on, I just don't think that's fair to our current employees.
I think you're absolutely right about that. And so we can certainly negotiate it to include whoever they keep on, that there's no drop in coverage of any kind as far as the medical insurance goes.
Now, any new hires, they would go through their normal standard, whatever.
Right.
The new hires will understand that that's something they're doing. They're leaving a job they already have or hiring into this new company. The ones that we currently are currently employed with our current contractor, they really have no say.
Well, that's exactly right. Plus, if they're being kept on, that should tell us that, and tell the contractor, hey, this is a valuable employee, knows this building. We want to keep them on. We want to keep them happy. Because that was a universal theme I heard from every contractor was, we invest in our people and we want to make them happy. Well, guess what? From the outset, let's make them happy by not having to have any drop in health insurance coverage. So.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Does that sort of get to the issue, guys? Or that issue, at least?
Yes, that helped me a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right, any more discussion or questions?
So I have one for Mr. LaFawn, maybe. So the current ABM contract, the negotiated price they submitted is lower than the one they submitted back in 2016, I think it was. Does this include that discount? Is that why it's that much lower?
Mr. George, I didn't ask why it was lower. I noticed that too. It's actually about $13,000 a month less than what their extension was from July to December. I just assumed that they would give us their number in good faith, but it is lower than what it has been.
Thank you, sir.
All right, any more? All right, anyone want to make a motion for any particular contract?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion. I've reviewed the 4 that were submitted, and I've tried to do my due diligence and pick out the differences in the thing. I would like to make a motion that we contract with AFS, American Facility Services, for the next cleaning contract within the county schools.
All right, Mr. George has made a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
I'll second.
All right, was that Miss Barnes?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Barnes made a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's, Don, if you don't mind, let's please do a roll call vote because we're on the phone. That way, and I think it's unanimous, but let's just do that really quick.
All right, we'll do a roll call vote then. So, Mr. George?
Aye.
All right, Miss Fontana?
Aye.
Miss Barnes?
Aye.
And Mr. Smith? Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
All right. Hey, anyone have anything else before we have a motion to adjourn?
I may have one. I guess I should have included in the motion, Mr. Attorney. The part about what we talked about previously with the no lapse in coverage, did that need to be in the motion as a negotiation, or is that just part of what goes on?
That's just part of what goes on.
Okay.
And I'll take that as direction into the negotiation. You'll actually have the contract at your next meeting.
Okay. Now we won't need to approve this contract earlier to get them started, because since it is going to be a vendor swap, it's going to be more time consuming, I guess.
Well, once they're selected, they'll begin their process. But as far as you guys approving the contract, we'll ask the vendor if they need additional time. But they should be able to know once they've won the RFP to get whatever levers and pulleys going that they need to get going.
Okay.
So, and I believe Mr. LaFawn will let them know today. That way they have as much time as possible.
All right, thanks, sir. Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we adjourn.
All right, Mr. George made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second motion.
Mr. Smith has made a second. So let's do the roll call. Mr. George?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Burns?
Aye.
Ms. Fontana?
Aye.
All right, vote is unanimous. Thank you.